Japanese turn 10. I'm building 1 transport, 2 submarines, 1 destroyer, 2 tanks, 2 mechanized, 1 fighter, 2 infantry, for a total of 59 IPCs. And now for the combat move. So we've got quite a few combats going on here. So Shenyang, you can see that at the top. Shenyang, and this funny red guy is for me to remind me to do a non-combat move in that area. So I've got 1 tank going to Shensi. I've got 1 mech going to Shensi to attack that Russian infantry. Kiangsu, I got 3 mech going to Kishwa, which is where that other Russian infantry is. 2 tanks going from Indochina to Shaiwan. 1, 2. There's a Chinese infantry there. 1 destroyer in Hainan going to Sea Zone 37 to attack that New Zealand submarine who's being a pain in the neck. I got a submarine in the Philippines. It's going to move to Sea Zone 54. So there he is in the Philippines, moving to Sea Zone 54. 1, 2, 3. It's going to attack that American destroyer and transport. Got a fighter in Hunan going to Kishwa. Fighter in Indochina going to Sea Zone 37. It's going to attack that submarine, the destroyer. Korea, 2 infantry. I'll move it up a little bit so you can see this. 2 infantry moving to Manchuria. Fighter in Japan assisting the attack against the Russian infantry in Manchuria. Shan State. So this is the big one here. Shan State, 1 tactical going to India. Or sorry, Shan State, 1 fighter going to India. So that's 2. And I'll mark these with all, so you'll be able to see that. 1 tactical from Siam going to India. 1, 2, 3. That's a tactical. And don't be alarmed, I moved all the British units off board for the combat, all the British, American, and New Zealanders, so you'll see that set up on the board in a minute. From Indochina, 2 bombers. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 2 left over. From my fleet, all the 3 fighters and the 3 tactical are going into India. So we'll put that on the battle board in just a minute. Burma, the 6 tanks, 4 artillery, and 2 infantry are going into India, and I'll put those on the battle board in a minute. Oh, and Indochina, I've got 2 fighters also going to India. 1, 2, 3. So they have 1 movement left. So I'll transfer those plus the fuel dice all onto the battle board. Also, the fleet There's going to be one battleship, two battleships, one cruiser, one transport. The transport's taking the infantry from Ceylon, picking it up, and then invading India, so that counts as an invasion. And you'll see this funny dude in C-Zone 3079 just to remind me to do a non-combat move into that area. Okay, so now we're going to move to the battle board. So I think you can see the battle board here. And now I'm going to put on all the Japanese units. So putting the battleships and cruisers on the edge. Putting on the combined fleet fighters, which is 3 fighters and 3 tactical. Tactical are all paired, so they can attack at 4. Two bombers coming on as well, and they have a reserve of 2, fuel reserve of 2. One tactical with a fuel reserve of 3. One fighter with a fuel reserve of 2. And 2 fighters, as you know, from Indochina, which has a fuel reserve of 1. Moving into my ground units, the amphibious assault. So that's coming from transport, so he attacks at a 1. My tanks coming in from Burma, plus the 4 artillery, paired with a couple of infantry. And actually I'm going to do one small change. I'm going to do amphibious assault, not only with this infantry, but the transport can also pick up the artillery from Burma. So that'll pair that infantry with that artillery. So the first thing we have to roll for is the anti-aircraft from the Brits. So that's 3 at 1. I'm going to roll that first. Whoa, 2 hits. So I'm taking off these 2 fighters. Good shooting with the anti-aircraft. Okay, now we're going to do the combat. So I got 2 battleships at 4. Oops. 2 battleships at 4 and they miss. 1 cruiser at 2 is a miss. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 2 bombers, 2, 4 tactical, makes a total of 6 at 4. That's a total of 3 hits. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to assume you're going to have your anti-aircraft take a loss. So that's 3. And now my fighters. Got 4 fighters coming in. They're in blues. That's 2 hits. That's 2 more infantry. Give me 1 second here. It's 2 more infantry. tanks. Total of 6 tanks. Okay, just a minute here. I rolled for 3 fighters, but as you can see, I've got 4 fighters, so I need to roll 1 more. And that's a miss. Oh well, I don't know why I'm bothering. Okay, 6 tanks. 2 hits. Okay, hopefully my infantry and artillery will save the day. So I've got 4 artillery and 3 infantry, total of 7. One hit, I just can't believe it. It's 1 hit. Okay, the Brits are going to fire back. They're all greens. So I'll do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll do the first 7 that were killed in the back row. And they get a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. You have to be careful. Yes, as long as I have 1 artillery in the invasion. Okay, so that's 5 hits. And then the others on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more. Yes, 5 more. 1 hit. And now your tank. Tank defends at a 3. Hit with the tank. And 2 fighters. They defended a 4. And they missed. Okay, so that's that round of combat. I'm going to, of course, keep going. So my battleships and cruisers no longer participate. So I'll just take those off of there. Okay, so let's do the 2 bombers and 4 tactical. Okay, so now because I've lost some fighters, let me just see here. I've got 4 fighters. Oh no, I've got 4 tactical, so I'm okay. That's 6. And I get a total of 2 hits. And then 4 fighters. I get 3 hits with my fighters. And my tanks. So that's a total of 6 tanks. And I get 4 hits with my tanks finally. Okay, so that wipes out your force. You only have 3 left. And of course you get to fire back. So on your shots, oops, I gotta be careful there, I'm moving things around here. Total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2. Okay, I gotta re-roll 2 of them. 4 hits. So 4 hits, and I've got 6 tanks. So I got 2 tanks left. 1 tank fires. Miss. And the 2 aircraft, 1 hit. So I'm going to take off a fighter. So that concludes the combat in India. So your forces are gone. I've got 2 tanks left to capture India. plus a bunch of Air Force, which I'll put on in a minute. So the other combats. I've got 2 tanks against 1 infantry in Sichuan. 2 tanks against 1 infantry. So tanks roll at a 3. I'm rolling it all at the same time, so I kill your infantry, but you kill my tank. Sichuan. The next one in Kuchao, which is 3 mech, and 1, I'll do the one, sorry, in Shensi. Shensi has a tank and a mech versus an infantry. Tank and a mech versus an infantry. Tank rolls at 3, and the mech rolls at 1. And I get 1 hit, so you're dead. You fire back at 2, and you miss. So Shensi is gone, taken. Kuchao, I've got 3 mech and 1 fighter coming in against 1 infantry. 3 mech and a fighter. The fighter is blue. Mechs go at 1. I got 1 hit with my infantry, so I kill him. He fires back, and he gets 1 of me. So that's Kuchao, as you can see. Manchuria, I've got 2 infantry and a fighter versus 1 infantry. 2 infantry, 2 infantry, and a fighter. And I get 1 hit, so you're killed. You fire back and miss. So Manchuria's back. Down here in C Zone 37, I've got 1 sub versus a fighter and a destroyer. So your sub rolls at a 1. A destroyer and a fighter. Destroyer's a green. Fighter's a blue. We all miss, so we're going to do that again. And get your submarine. Your submarine's dead. And the last one, we have a sub versus a destroyer, American destroyer, Japanese sub. So they both fire at a 2. 1 at a time. Japanese misses. American misses. Japanese hits. American hits, so they kill each other. Worth a shot. So I think I've covered all my combat. So now I do my non-combat move. So non-combat move. My mechanized in Hopei goes into Shuiyan. I have a destroyer in C Zone 6. 1, 2, 3. It's going to go in the Philippines. Okay, and I think I have a whole bunch of planes to land. I'm also going to move some units from C Zone 38, C Zone 79. So from C Zone 38, move the carrier and 2 destroyers. Into Sea Zone 39. I'm going to leave my transports and that other transport. Everything else is going to be in Sea Zone 39. Okay, what I'm going to show, I'm going to have a carrier and 1 destroyer in 79. And now I'm going to land my planes. So the bombers that attacked India have 2 movement, so they can move to Shan State. I have 2 fighters. They can land in Shan State as well. The one in Quichao can go to Hopei. The one that attacked Manchuria from Japan can land in Korea. Okay, the carrier planes. I got 1 tactical and 1 fighter. It's going to land on the carrier in Sea Zone 39. I got 3 tacticals. And instead of having that fighter in Shan State, I'm going to have that fighter land on those carriers. Just give me a moment here. I'm just thinking for a second. Okay, so I had the battleships and everything else moving to Ceylon. The carriers were in 38. So I can actually move the carriers into 37. 2 carriers and 2 destroyers. So they're going to be in Malaya. They're going to have a transport as well. Okay. So let's do a disposition of, sorry, now I'm going to put on my production. So I've got destroyer, 2 submarines, and a transport are all in Sea Zone 6. I've got 2 tanks and an infantry in Indochina. I got 2 mechs. I've got 2 mechs, and I'll put a so just a minute, 2 tanks, and I'll put a plane in Indochina, 2 mechs and an infantry in Kiangsu, and 1 infantry in Japan. And I'll do my IPC count and disposition in a second video.